Okay, Scott. Janice deals out 2 brand new decks of cards. Time to meet a new challenger on Card Sharks. Meg Merkins. Hello, Meg. Welcome. My pleasure. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
My name is Meg Merkins, and I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, but I've been living the last few years in Iowa. And I've done a wide variety of jobs, anywhere from babysitting for a whale at an amusement park in Ohio to being a dental assistant. And I'm here on vacation, and I'm going to stay out just as long as I have the money, and I'm going to save just enough to take the train back to Iowa.
Oh, sounds like you're enjoying it.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
You babysat a whale?
Yes, sir.
How did you get a job like that, and what do you do? I mean, do you sing nursery rhymes to them?
Well, actually, yeah. Well, it's not often that you have a 2-ton baby that you're babysitting, but
you didn't put it on your lap or anything. No, it's mostly to protect the whale from the people rather than to keep the whale company. It was a lot of fun. Are they gentle animals? I've heard that.
Yes,
gentle
they
mammals,
are very gentle, and they're very intelligent.
Sounds like it'd be a very interesting job. Meg,
sure
nice to have you here with us. You cut the cards?
Yes, I did.
Good luck. We'll start. Whale. Maybe we get the IRS agents to take care of whales or something. Let's start the match with a question to you, Scott. Scott, our man on the street, went to a small city in Japan where he asked 100 single women, if your fiancé asked you to live with him before marriage, would you do it? How many Japanese women would agree to live with their fiancé before marrying him?
All right, I think the key to that question is a small village in Japan. Tokyo, maybe a lot more, but in a small village in Japan, they still got a lot of the old customs. That's got to be fairly low. I'm going to say 22.
22 out of 100 Japanese women would agree to live with their fiancé before marriage.
Okay, well, being a woman, let me think. Even in Japan, I think he's right on being a small town. I'm going to go a little bit lower than that.
Even a little lower than that?
A little bit lower, yes, please.
Always fascinating, the differences in cultures. The actual number of Japanese women who would live with their fiancé before marrying him is 0. Not one of them. Not a one.
Okay.
And Meg starts off the match with a 9.
A 9. I'd like to change that card, please.
Can she improve it? Oh, up the middle with an 8.
Well, with an 8, I'll try it higher.
Higher than the 8. No. 3 is not higher. And Scott gets a free chance to play a 4.
Higher, Jim.
Higher than the 4. A 7.
Freeze.
And Janice will fill in the space for Meg. And the question to you, Meg.
All right.
Meg, we asked 100 mothers-in-law. Now tell the truth. Does your daughter-in-law treat you like dirt? How many women said their daughter-in-law treats them like dirt?
Oh, gosh. Well, my mother is the only mother-in-law that I know at the time. Let's see. I would say, maybe in the middle. You hear both sides of the story. So I'm going to go 50.
50 out of 100 women said their daughter-in-law treats them like dirt.
I think mother-in-laws are basically a brunt of a lot of jokes. I doubt that there are a whole lot of people that actually get treated the way you would think they would as a result of the jokes. I'm going to say lower than that.
You say lower than that.
Lower than that.
The actual number of mothers-in-law who said their daughter-in-law treats them like dirt is 5. Very much lower. And it's rather nice to hear. Not so good for Meg, but Scott is happy about it with a 7.
Change it.
And the 7 becomes a 10. A little better.
Lower, Jim.
Lower than the 10. A 10.
Higher.
Higher than the 2. An 8.
Freeze.
And again, Scott keeps getting control, and he moves over, needing 1 card. Scott, we asked 100 child psychiatrists. Will boys who go to school with girls grow up to be better adjusted than boys who go to an all-boys school? How many child psychiatrists think boys who go to school with girls will grow up to be better adjusted?
Oh, yes. If you go to a school that's got all the same sex as you are, all you hear is rumors. You don't have any interrelated thoughts or expressions or anything with the opposite sex. All of a sudden you get hit it at one time when you're out of school, and that's probably bad. I'm going to say, how many said that it was better to go to a co-ed school?
How many said it's better to go with girls?
High number, 82.
82 out of 100, Meg.
Okay, well, I went to an all-girls school, and I think I made the adjustment all right. So I'm going to go just a little bit lower than that.
A little lower. You don't think it hurts that much?
No,
huh?
I don't think it hurts that much at all.
The actual number of child psychiatrists who think boys who go to school with girls grow up to be better adjusted is 71. It's a little lower. Meg is right. Still a high number, but Meg...
Change that card, please.
Now can get rid of the middle card. 3.
Great. I'd like to go higher.
Higher than the 3. A 7.
A freeze.
Gonna freeze on it. And now Scott needs 1 card. Meg needs 3. This is sudden death. Someone has to win the game on this play of the cards. Meg, back in colonial days, if you broke the law, the authorities would punish you by making you stand in a public place with your head and hands locked in wooden stocks. So we asked 100 people, do you think the modern crime rate would go down if criminals today were locked hand and foot in wooden stocks? How many people think the crime rate would go down?
Oh, gosh, well, there's a lot to be said for the humiliation in front of the public. I'm going to go with a fairly high number and go with 65.
65.
Well, I think it's going to have to go down because you've got your hardened criminals, and they're going to do it if they're going to be in front of anybody. But you still got enough people who are going to be embarrassed by it, and it's got to go down. It's got to be higher than that.
You say higher than that?
Yes, it has.
I guess really what we're talking about is the public humiliation. This to Science Control. The actual number of people who think the crime rate would go down if we started using wooden stocks is 61, not higher, just a little lower. And Meg, you have control. It is sudden death. You're faced with an interesting problem because you're near the middle with a 7. You could, of course, change it. Try to turn over 3 cards. Scott is right up the middle with an 8. He cannot change it. He needs 1. You have control. Play or pass.
I'm going to pass to Scott.
She doesn't want to play with 3 cards, and it comes down to this. Scott, call this right, you win. Call it wrong, the game belongs to Meg. With an 8, what do you say?
Higher.
He says higher. It's not higher, and Meg wins it in sudden death. The 8, exactly the same, not higher. And that means game 1 goes to the challenger with $100, and she finally got control, and it paid off for her. Here come the same cards, same 2 decks, and different cards, of course, in those decks. Okay. Now, Scott, you need some catching up. Scott, we found 100 women whose marriage survived their husband's affair. And we asked them, forgive a frank question, but did you get even with your husband by having an affair of your own? How many women got even with their husband by having an affair of their own?
I think a lot of them, that would be their first idea for revenge. They'd want to go out and do it, but I don't think a lot of them would have. I think it's going to be a low number. I'm going to say 25.
25 out of 100 went out and had an affair of their own, Meg.
Okay, I agree. I think that that might be the first idea, but I don't think a lot of them go through with it. So I'm going to go just a little bit lower than that.
You say even lower than that? The actual number of women who got even with their husband by having an affair of their own is 22, just a little lower. Meg. And Meg starts off game number 2 with a 2. Higher than the 2. Queen. Risking it lower. A 7.
I'm going to freeze, please.
Well, the shoe's on the other foot now. The challenger has the upper hand. Meg, we asked 100 10-year-old kids, what is the first name of Jane Fonda's father? How many 10-year-old kids knew that Jane Fonda's father is, of course, Henry Fonda?
Oh, gosh. Well, the 10-year-old, I'm not sure about that. I think they'll know Jane before Henry, and so I'm going to go with just about 40.
40 out of 100 knew that Jane's father was Henry. Scott?
No, at 10 years old, Henry Fonda was very famous years ago, but right now he's maybe a couple of movies here and there, but I don't think the 10-year-olds associate with that. It's going to be lower.
You say lower than that? Yeah, the times do change. One of the kids answered that he thought Jane's father was Peter Fonda. Oh. So 40 for Meg, lower for Scott. The actual number of 10-year-olds who knew that Jane Fonda's father is Henry Fonda is 40, right on the money. Meg, you got it. Right smack on the money.
Great. Okay, I'd like to change that card, please.
Big change for the challenger. The 7 to a queen.
Lower, please.
Lower than the queen. The 6.
I'm going to freeze, please.
And now when we move over to the freeze bar, Meg needs 1 card, and we'll be right back right after this. Well, we'll have to finish this match at our next show. We have some nice people who joined us today all the way from Montreal, Canada. Others joined us from Pearl River, New York. And we'd love to have you come down sometime and join us in the studio audience. We do have a lot of fun. Meg, Scott, come back and see us on the next show. And you come back as well, won't you? On Card Charts. Bye-bye.
21, 555 music system complete with AM/FM receiver and high-fidelity two-way speakers designed for minimum space. Furnished by Rotel. And some of our contestants will receive a bakeware set and Campbell's Chunky Soup made for people who want more than soup. Chunk after chunk of delicious food is more like a meal than a soup. A tote Unicap M from Upjohn contains 11 essential vitamins and 6 key minerals, including iron and zinc. Unicap M because you need minerals too. A waffle iron and Staley syrup, the all-natural syrup, no preservatives, nothing artificial. Staley syrup with a rich country maple flavor that naturally tastes better. A gift pack of Flame Glow, innovative cosmetics for today's young woman. Flame Glow has beautiful lip colors, soft blushes, and creamy cosmetic pencils for lips and eyes. A shaving kit and sensational tannery. Safely cleans conditions, helps protect leather or vinyl shoes, boots, purses, furniture, car tops, and interiors. Tannery helps them last longer. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson-Bill Todman production.